All right, fellas, we're back. And up until a few years ago, I was eating the exact same way you are and every other guy who's trying to build a lean, aesthetic, high status physique. I was doing grueling 12-week cuts, trying to stay on the diet the best I can with crazy cravings and low energy every day. And then as soon as that diet was over, I'd have a cheat meal, put on a few pounds, and then just go into a lean bulking phase. The problem was this was a temporary fix, and I would only feel good in that short window of time right before my cut ended, before my bulk, and it felt like my life was only good for a very short period of time, and the rest of the year, I lacked a little bit of confidence. I'd seen my peak, and I wasn't living up to it, and I knew what I was capable of, but I wasn't reaching my full potential. Then I remembered the reason we start working out. It's not to feel good for only a couple weeks, maybe 2 months. It's to feel good on a daily basis, be confident, operate at my highest level, get more attraction from women, and get more respect from other people. So I cut out dieting completely. I removed dieting from my vocabulary and realized that integrating a system into my lifestyle that is built around me having the most amount of energy possible, staying lean year round so I'm confident and feel great about the way I look, but also can make progress in the gym because that's ideally what I love to do. And this changed everything for me. This is when my physique really took it to the next level. But overall, I realized that me maintaining this year round, it became part of who I am, and it became the standard I operate at. See, the high status aesthetic physique that you want isn't built on doing crazy bulks and crazy cuts every single year, and then eventually you're just going to be able to maintain 8% year round. No, it's built on a sustainable system where you slowly make progress over time. You're always in striking distance of being lean, and you feel great on a daily basis. This is what it's all about. If you keep doing these bulking and cuts, you're never going to know what it's actually like to sit at a low body fat percentage for a long period of time and actually be able to perform. Because we got to remember, if we're at a low body fat percentage, but we feel terrible on a daily basis, we can't progress in other areas of our life, we can't leverage our physique at all, it's literally pointless to have. You're just walking around basically a male OnlyFans model. 99% of guys don't realize this, but they're currently going to the gym for years, and they actually have the potential to reach this high status aesthetic physique within 6 to 12 weeks, but they're all sitting at the fat, slightly average jacked physique where you have too much body fat on, you have a little bit of muscle, but you don't actually look better than the average guy because you're at 18, 20% body fat and all that muscle is just covered in fat. And so you never end up getting any of the benefits from being in shape. You don't get the extra attraction. You don't feel better on a daily basis. You don't look at yourself in the mirror and have that surge of confidence and self-belief. This is the issue with calling something a diet. You are implying that there is an end date. This is a temporary phase. And what happens is when you're doing this cut, anticipation is building, cravings are going insane through the roof, and you end up either cheating on the way there or by the end of it, you get to your desired goal or you get close and then you end up just cheating and rebounding. And the last thing you want to do after you've just been through a grueling cut is get back on another diet just to do the same thing over and over again. And this is why every guy sits at this fat average jacked physique at 20% because it's comfortable. We are no longer using diet models. Those don't exist anymore. We are following a system and principles. And the whole point of this is to make it flexible. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation. It doesn't matter if you're in a strict routine. We want to figure out the easiest way to get in shape, improve our quality of life, and actually be able to maintain it. There's no point being in shape if it's only for a short period of time and then you immediately rebound and lose it all again and you just sit at average 90% of the year. That is completely pointless. So we're going to break down exactly what you need to do to make this diet possible. So the absolute basics. Protein needs to be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You can go up to 2 if you want. You need to understand that protein is the most satiating macro. So this is going to keep you full. This is really important if you are dieting. You want to make sure you're getting your protein from whole foods. I would honestly avoid protein shakes. There's nothing wrong with them. Protein powders are totally fine. You're going to get the protein. The quality's there. However, if you eat food, it's going to be more satiating. It's going to trigger your hunger hormones and you're actually going to be satiated. You're not going to immediately be hungry like if you drink a protein shake. So that's number one. Carbohydrates is going to be our main source of performance and energy. So we want to be manipulating these the most. We want to have our carbohydrates around our workouts ideally. This isn't that important, but I just recommend having a sustained amount throughout the day and slightly more before and after your workout. We want these from whole food sources. Like everything else in this diet, we want rice, potatoes, oatmeal, granola, sourdough bread, everything that is single ingredient, honey, fruit. These are the best things possible, and we're going to get into that in a minute. And then fats, lastly, I like to keep those roughly the same in a range year round. So again, eggs, red meat, salmon, avocado, olive oil, all just super simple ways to get in fats that are going to give you sustained energy but regulate your hormones. See, we never want to cut out a macro. That is the last thing you should ever be doing. You should never be doing super low carb, super low fat, or super low protein. They all have a reason in our body. There is a purpose for them, and cutting one out is just going to make your diet unsustainable. It's going to create a ton of problems down the road, and it is literally the worst thing you could do for a diet. So now that we got the absolute basics down, we've talked about the diet. The amount of times you eat in a day does not matter. This is totally based around your preference. There's guys that eat once a day and just have a massive meal and eat all 2,600 calories in one meal. And there's some people that like to eat 5-6 times a day. It all is what works best for you. As long as it's from good sources of food, that is the most important. See, there was a myth that used to go around the fitness industry called if it fits your macros. And basically what it implied was that if you eat calories of two different items, one is from super processed, one is from, good whole single ingredient foods, that it doesn't matter. Calories in, calories out, they are the exact same. But the way your body processes these calories is completely different. If it's from a processed food, number one, you're not even going to be able to extract any of the nutrients because there isn't any, but also the way your metabolism responds. You can have a much healthier, faster metabolism by eating whole foods because your body actually knows what to do with these things you're putting in your body. You got to think of processed food as like completely foreign objects that your body has no idea how to process, and your energy levels are going to reflect this. If you've ever stuck to an actual whole foods diet for a significant amount of time, the way you feel completely changes on a daily basis. Your energy's through the roof. Your libido is going to be higher. Your just overall drive and mental clarity is going to be 10 times better. So our goal is to never get out of shape. We never want to let ourselves go. We want to hold ourselves to a really high standard, but the way we integrate it into our life, it doesn't feel difficult, and it shouldn't be. So we want to stay anywhere from 8 to maybe 14%. I personally like to stay between 8 and 12%. But the thing is I am always in striking distance of getting in amazing shape. If I have a trip, if I want to do a photo shoot, if I want to get content, it literally takes me 2 to 3 weeks of just dialing back my carbohydrates, not cutting them out completely, just pulling some out of each meal, and then I'm in great shape. I literally don't have to do anything else. It's nothing I have to think about. I don't get super hungry during the day, and I can still perform at a really, really high level with good mental clarity, and that's really important. If you have never got lean before, you need to track your macros for 6 months. Track macros for 6 months. You're going to start to understand how much food is in, a portion of protein, how much this plate of food looks like if you're at a restaurant or you're somewhere where you can't track your food. This is really important because you need to actually understand how much you are consuming on a daily basis. But once you built this skill, it's ingrained in with you for life. And if you really want to dial in and go on like a 2 to 4 week cut, yeah, you can do it for 2 to 4 weeks, but you want to build that skill over time so you actually know what's going in your body and you roughly know how much you're eating every single day. So if you've never done that, what I would recommend doing is for 2 to 3 months is literally just eat the same thing every day. Foods you enjoy, meals you look forward to that taste good, they give you energy, you digest them well, eat those every single day. That is the easiest way to get in shape for the first time. Track how much food you're eating and then eat the same thing every single day. This way, there's no variables. As soon as you have to think to make a decision, that is when you start falling off, because instead of going and making your meal, which maybe takes 5-10 minutes to prepare, you're going to be like, oh, or I could order this from Uber Eats, or I could just go grab this snack in the cupboard, and that's where everyone fails. So eat the same thing every day in the beginning until you build the habit and discipline and you actually know what it feels like to feel great every single day with high energy. Eating the same thing every single day is a great way to build up momentum, really get used to how much food you're eating, tracking the calories, but it's not actually that realistic for the majority of people, right? Like, we want to be eating the same thing every single day in that period of time for as long as possible. But realistically, you're going to have dates, you're going to have family dinners, you're going to have events, probably want to go to a restaurant. You need to think of your diet, or this framework, sorry, we don't use the word diet, this framework and system as the standard. So it doesn't matter if you're going to a restaurant, instead of ordering something like pizza, a lasagna, you would get a steak and potatoes, right? Obviously at a restaurant, it's going to be cooked in butter, there's going to be more calories, but you're still going to feel great after you eat that. It's still within the realm of this system, and this is how guys stay lean year round. This is how I do it. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. I don't have to be like, no, I can't come out. I'm on a diet. I can do what I want, right? Like, you can integrate this into your life. And the best structure for these meals, so you can literally follow it year round. There's no friction. It's not difficult. And you look forward to every single meal you eat. You want to be doing a large source of protein. So around 30 to 50 grams every meal, about your hand size. And then the same thing for a carbohydrate. As I said before, whole foods, rice, potatoes, sourdough, etc. And then a little bit of fruit. If it's a super lean meat like chicken, add a little bit of fats, a tiny portion of fats, but really you want to be getting your protein from slightly fattier sources. So things like beef, eggs, salmon. These are the best ways because they're going to be more dense in micronutrition. And this is really, really important. Micronutrients and hydration are going to bring out the details. They're going to improve your skin quality. They're going to improve your hair. All these things add to your physique, and they're the icing on the cake. Now the lifestyle integration is actually the most important part, because as I said before, if this does not slot into your life, improve your quality of life, it is completely pointless and you're not going to stick to it long term. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to improve ourselves over years, not for 12-week dieting phases. So you need to make this part of your identity. You just recognize you are someone who eats healthy, you eat whole foods, and you enjoy every single meal you eat. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean it needs to taste bad, but you can still go out and have a date, go to a restaurant, eat with some sort of balance. And every once in a while, you can have a burger and fries. It's not going to affect your physique, especially if you do this consistently for a long time. The problem is a lot of people, they only stay consistent for 12 weeks because it comes to extreme. And then when they do have that meal out, that burger, it plays a huge role in messing up their progress. They end up holding water, putting on fat, putting on a ton of water weight, and then they can't stay consistent. So the best thing you can do is just build a few go-to signature meals. A few of mine are sourdough and eggs with honey and some fruit, kiwi on the side, steak and sweet potato. Things I can always turn to that don't take a lot of time to prepare. Every single day I look forward to them. I'm like a dog showing up to his same dog food every day. I can't wait to eat it. And these are things you can get at literally any restaurant you go to. And this is how you maintain low body fat year round. This is how literally every single person does it who's in shape. They eat the same foods consistently, they enjoy what they do, and they just integrate it into their life and becomes a habit. Getting into the best shape of your life and building a high status physique is not a suffering competition. It's the complete opposite. It's basically who can integrate it the best and make it seamless so it doesn't feel like they're on a diet and this is just the way they live their life. You need to realize that when you build this physique, you're going to be able to leverage it so well, and every outfit you wear is going to become an expensive one. It's going to look fantastic. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a $1 t-shirt, a $2 t-shirt from Walmart. And at the end of the day, you need to look at your physique as basically your brand. This is your image. This is the standard you hold yourself to. And this is what people are going to recognize you for, and all the traits that come with having a great, lean, aesthetic, high status physique. And this is how you basically open up opportunities for yourself. You're more attractive. And overall, this is just going to be people's perception of you, which in truth does matter a ton. And if you guys want to expedite this process and you want me to build this system with you and help you get to your dream physique quickly and expedite the process, book a call with me down below. We can talk about where you're currently at, where you're trying to get to, and how we can achieve it together.